Hi guys, I'm Bram, and currently I'm residing in New Zealand, particularly in Auckland. And as of today, this is the second day of the lockdown. We have new 78 cases, so in total it's 283, but still no death yet, which is a relief. Um, but now actually I want to talk more about my country, New Zealand, just for a comparison, because I've been texting back to my previous employer in Jakarta, and he was informing me of the condition in Jakarta and what has been for the last couple of weeks and months. And I was shocked that I think it was in January or early February when tourism was declining in Indonesia. The government was actually releasing a policy for airline tickets or any tourism sector to drop their rates so that people will still come to Indonesia even though the coronavirus was still happening. I was just, what was their way of thinking? You know what I mean? Like, New Zealand government, once they found one person, before they found one person, they were starting to restricting the air travel. Like, yeah, but that's just the common sense, that's a logical things to be thinking, not thinking about the money and how to get more tourists to come to Indonesia without realizing that they might bring the virus as well to Indonesia, which probably not their fault because they don't even realize it, that they carried it. But you know what I mean? And when my boss told me that, it's just sad, it's just sad. It's like at these difficult times with the pandemics, the government who was really doing their job properly will be tested. But if you were not doing your job properly as a government, you'll be in panic. You will not know what to do, what to react, because you were not prepared and you were not used to being doing things, getting the job properly. And that's what I've been hearing from Indonesia. Like, the government still doesn't know whether they should do the lockdown like the rest of the world, most of the countries, or they should just I don't know, just let it be and let the community, the herd, what do you call it, when all of the people being infected, and it's just the virus doesn't become effective anymore. But many people would have died out of that course if you pick that one instead of lockdown. And we have, like, I don't know, around 273 million people in Indonesia. What would the death tolls would be if and government doesn't do anything about this? I'm in New Zealand now, and the way the government was reacting to this pandemic, from my perspective, who was living in Indonesia for, like, I don't know, 25 years, it's impressive. It's just impressive. Maybe some of Kiwis might not agree with me with how the government react to this pandemic, but for me, it's just, the roads are empty. People were actually abiding the law, most of them, and the government funded companies who have difficulties paying wages for the employee who is in in a state of lockdown, staying at home. They released like, I don't know, 4.1 billion like last week, I think, for any business who needs any help, and the total of the amount that they have prepared is around 5.1 billion New Zealand dollars. And now that I know that, I might think that, me just personally might think that Indonesian government doesn't have enough money to do lockdown. That's what I'm thinking now. But we have a lot of people paying taxes. Even my mom, when she was getting pensions, she paid a lot of taxes just for getting the pension money. And my mom was like 49 years old or something, or 50. And I don't know if the government knows any better. A person who already worked for like, I don't know, 28 years in a company, and then finally trying to settle down, get retired, they still take the tax money that a lot. And now they can't pay. They say they don't have enough. No, not they say. They might not have enough money for dealing with this pandemic. I just can't believe it. Either the corruption was still going, or they just don't manage the money well. And we have Sri Mulyani as the Minister of Economics, I think. Yeah, and she was the director of World Bank. So there's no reason, I don't think there's any reason that Indonesia could not react properly at this time. But it is what's happening, so I'm just sad, but this is the time. Like I said, countries government who are doing things properly might be able to get through this pandemic, but who were not, we can see it now that they were not doing their job properly. And that is sad. That is freaking sad. But yeah, that's just I just gotta let it out. I mean, I'm not that patriotic person, but I do care of my family, close friends in Indonesia. How would their life would be impacted by this pandemic, and especially how the government react to this situation. So I hope you guys well in Indonesia. However the government react, just do whatever you could to protect yourself. Stay at home. That's a reasonable way to do it. Wearing mask maybe when you go outside, but not particularly to protect you from other people who have the disease. But I think it's more effective, as in you protect yourself if you have the disease without knowing it, from other people who doesn't have it. Because when you talk, you do sometimes drop any droplets and whatever, and that could save you from infecting other people. But that's for today. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later.